When I came home from the hospital, the first thing I noticed was the humming. Low, steady, unfamiliar. It came from the kitchen. I followed it, still weak, one hand grazing the wall for balance. And there it was, gleaming, silver, out of place. A second refrigerator. My son stood by it, arms crossed, like a guard. "That one's mine," he said. "Cold. Measured. Buy your own food." His wife was beside him, smirking, a marker still in her hand. Every container inside that fridge had a name written on it, hers. Mine was nowhere. I looked at them both. My chest ached, not from the surgery, but from something deeper, sharper. I had raised him alone. But I said nothing. Silence was my first weapon. That night I sat in my room, listening to them laugh through the thin walls. The sound used to comfort me. Now it scraped. When my husband died, my son was 12. I remember him crying into my chest, his hands clutching my shirt like it was the only thing holding him up. I swore I'd protect him from everything: poverty, pain, loneliness. I worked 2 jobs, sold my jewelry for his schooling, skipped meals so he could have seconds. When he married her, I tried to love her. I gave her the kitchen, the house, the freedom to make it hers. I wanted her to feel at home. But then the small things began. My clothes disappearing from the laundry. My mug replaced. The family photos rearranged, his father's face slowly fading from sight. Then came the whispers. "She's old. She should move out. She's a burden." They said it when they thought I was asleep. I never confronted them. I just listened. People reveal more when they think no one is watching. The fall that sent me to the hospital wasn't an accident. I had been trying to clean the kitchen floor, slippery from the oil she forgot to wipe. When I woke, my son didn't visit until the 3rd day. "Work's been crazy," he said, not meeting my eyes. I told him I understood. I always understood. When the doctor said I could go home, I expected warmth. Instead, I returned to a house colder than the hospital. And then the refrigerator. That was the moment I stopped being their victim. Revenge doesn't come from rage. Rage is loud, clumsy, easily seen. True revenge grows in silence, like mold beneath the wallpaper. While they slept, I began my work. I started small. The water filter switched. Their morning coffee began to taste off. Then the power outlets. I labeled them differently, quietly reversing the circuits. Their new fridge hummed beautifully, until one night it didn't. The compressor burned out. I watched my daughter-in-law wail over the spoiled food. "Do you know how expensive this was?" she screamed. I said softly, "Some things can't be replaced." She didn't catch the meaning. Not yet. I found the property documents one evening when they left for dinner. They'd been talking about selling the house, once she's gone. Funny thing about houses, names on papers matter. And my husband had been thorough. The deed was in my name, fully. They hadn't known. I took a quiet trip to the lawyer the next morning, revised my will, adjusted the ownership, secured the bank accounts. Then I waited. A week later, my son asked if I'd thought about moving somewhere easier. He said it like he was doing me a favor. I smiled. "I'm making arrangements," I said. And I was. My final step was simple. A kindness, wrapped in poison. I cooked dinner. A full meal, like I used to when he was little. Stew, rice, roasted chicken, and his favorite, apple pie. The smell filled the house. They came running. I served them first, quietly watching them eat. Their laughter returned, warm and unguarded. My son looked up, maybe out of guilt, maybe nostalgia. "This is good, Mom." That was the first time he'd called me that in months. When they went to bed, I cleared the table, washed the dishes, and wiped the counters spotless. Then I opened their fridge and took everything out. Every jar, every labeled container. and I placed them neatly into trash bags. When morning came, their food was gone, their fridge unplugged, and on its door, written with the same marker she had used, was a single note: "That one's mine." They shouted for me, but I was already outside. The moving truck idled in the driveway. The lawyer had completed the paperwork faster than expected. I had sold the house, quietly, efficiently, to a buyer who wanted quick possession. They stood there, disbelieving, when the new owner arrived that afternoon. "I think you're mistaken," my son said. The man handed him the contract. "No," he replied, "I bought it from Mrs. Hahn. She's the owner." Their faces drained of color. It was beautiful. By evening, I was gone. A small apartment by the sea waited for me. Clean, quiet, mine. I heard later that they had to move in with her parents, that the bills caught up, that the job my son bragged about wasn't as stable as he made it sound. Then I waited.